some of these guys have been playing a lot. Like, is this group fresh? Like, a lot of them are coming from their international teams and different things like that. Is this group overall, are they pretty fresh?
They look like they're ready. That's what, like, I mean, they still have to go through a lot of X's and O's and figuring out, who's going to play where and all that stuff and rotations. But for the most part, I mean, I don't think there's a player there that you can say is really like look like they're out of shape. I know someone mentioned in Shouty House that Bazemore was dying. That Bazemore was kind of like the end. But like, look, Bazemore also has he's got two kids under the age of 3. Like the dude's got a busy life going on, and he's also a seasoned vet that knows what to do once the ball goes up in the air. And I'll say this too, like for all the talk about Harrison Barnes and just where is he at mentally, Harrison Barnes won every single one of the wind
That's
sprints.
what I
Like
talked about earlier. Yeah.
he was way out in front of everybody, and so that's where people need to know that like it doesn't matter what's going on. That once a ball is once it's game night, Harrison Barnes is ready to play. He's focused. He's already focused and ready to play.
Well, that's what we kind of, me and Damien were kind of talking about earlier, and I noticed the same thing. And I said that Harrison Barnes, it doesn't, the way he approaches the game, the type of player he is, it almost doesn't matter if he's bought in or not because his mind won't let him do anything other than his best or to play a certain type of way. Then I noticed the same thing, James. I mean, I noticed it because not because I was looking to pick on anybody, but I always look at, point guards are in the front. That's what I was always taught. Point guards in the front. You lead from the front, you're the point guard. And Harrison was beating the point guards. He was the one first every time on those things. So I just think that's just who he is. He can't not give his all or be bought into the point where he's at least gonna try his best to produce.
Yeah, we talked to everybody. Well, we talked, let's see, Kevin Herter and who was the other yesterday? One of the two guys that we spoke to yesterday was very clear. Harrison Barnes is the guy who's always at the gym. He's always in the gym early. And the other cool thing about Harrison, I've said this before, but I'll repeat it again. He's a guy who not only is his body a temple and does he take care of it like 100%, but he also imparts that knowledge on the players that are coming behind him. It's something that his veterans taught him when he was young, and he's going to keep showing it to the guys that are coming through. You gotta hit the ice bath. You gotta do all of your maintenance on your body in order to stay strong and be in great shape. And I mean, he looks like he's in tremendous shape coming into camp. And the only thing with him, it's like, is he 100% like? I don't even want to say bought in, but like, is his head here? Is this where he's going to be long term, and what does that mean for the rest of his life and all that stuff? Like, because when you get traded or you sign a lucrative deal somewhere else in the off season, that means you're moving. That means you're moving, your wife's moving, your little girl's moving, like everyone's moving, and that's a big deal. It's as you get older as a player, I think it even becomes more and more difficult because you become entrenched in a community, and all that stuff. You have your friends and your play dates for your kids and all that stuff, and it's a big change.
Well, it's hard not to think that it's got to be on his mind a little bit, doesn't it? I mean, we talk about
Yeah,
next season. It could be February. It could be tomorrow.
it could be tomorrow. It could be between now and that magical date that I won't say because you hate when I say it. It could be any time, and I think that that's what like players kind of understand that like your name gets mentioned and it gets mentioned for a reason. And I thought that was one of the most interesting things that Brennan asked a question of Mike Brown about like roles and stuff, and Mike Brown said that they had already had like meetings with every single player and gone through like very specific expectations and roles, and this is what we want you to work on, this is who we want you to be. And I don't think that that's like a complete rarity, but I also think that like having like an honest discussion with your players is really important. And we see it with Phoenix, where DeAndre Ayton literally said he hadn't spoken to Monty Williams since the last game of the season, and that just seems like very strange to me. But I guess that happens in some situations. But once you matched his contract, you probably should have given him a call. And everyone handles their business differently, but that's a strange thing.
Wasn't DeAndre like benched in the second half, or the whole like that? That probably should have been addressed. Like the fact that it hasn't, it speaks to everything we said about Phoenix all off season. Like this is concerning for them. Like this, there's strong Kyler Murray vibes right now with the Phoenix Suns and DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah,
Very,
a lot of it's strange. Like why you wouldn't do that in an exit interview, why you wouldn't have, kind of work it out and so someone goes into the summer, whether he was going to come back or not, go into the summer with a positive like mental approach and thought about who you are as a coach and where his place is with the team. Just very strange.